Hello everyone, I'm coming in the next topic. This is on preoperative care. So, what is preoperative care? Before the operation, what should be mainly give special care to the patient? It included any type of physical examination, physical care, or psychological support. What should be given a patient with prior to a surgery? So, this is mainly preoperative care. Then, the preoperative care is the management and preparation of a patient prior to any type of surgery. Who is undergo any type of surgery, what should be given to a patient who is going to any type of major surgery or a minor surgery. The purpose is mainly to provide a physical support and the psychological support to a patient uh, for the better recovery after the surgery. Then some suffix which is used for the surgery, that is the ectomy. Ectomy means the insertion or removal of any type of organ. Like appendectomy, it means excision or removal of appendix. Lysis means it is the destruction of, like the electrolysis, the destruction of any tissue or destruction of cells. The oraphy means repair or suture of, that is the herniorrhaphy. If any type of hernia is present in our body, when the surgeon is undergo any type of repair or suture, then this is called the herniorrhaphy. The ostomy, it means creation of opening. It means colostomy. When a bowel cannot open properly, then a colon, there is a any type of um, there is any type of problem in our colon. So the colostomy is done, and the opening of colon is done. Then the bowel is coming out from the opening colon. Then the otomy. Otomy means the cutting into or insertion of. The tracheotomy, the cutting of trachea, or plasty means repair or reconstruction of, like the mammoplasty. Then what should be done? It is a most important point, the health assessment and physical examination for a pre-operative patient. What should be mainly done for a pre-operative patient? What should we healthcare provider check when a patient is going to a surgery? At first, the cardiovascular system. In a cardiovascular system, we identify the acute and chronic problems like angina, hypertension, heart failure, recent MI. Identify any drug that affect coagulations like warfarin, any low molecular weight heparin or aspirin, like this. The identify patient with pacemaker, heart valve, like assess any type of edema like pedal edema. Inspect neck vein distension, it means check the jugular venous distensions. It is called neck vein distensions. Assess blood pressure, pulse as per regular routine checkup. Then the respiratory system. In the respiratory system, mainly check the patient is suffering from any type of asthma or COPD. Assess the history of smoking. Determine baseline respiratory rate, rhythm, observe for cough, dyspnea, any type of dry cough is happen or not, or auscultate lungs for any abnormalities. Then the neurological systems. The most important point is the orientation. Determine the orientation about the place, person, time. The patient is asked about the what is his name, or what is um, he, or the name of the hospitals, or what time about this. Mainly the questions. Assess the baseline mental status, the mini mental status down to detect any type of confusion, delirium, TIA means transient ischemic attacks, or stroke, Parkinson's disease happen or not. Then the genitourinary system. In the genitourinary system, at first, that determine the ability to void, or the color, amount, characteristics of urine, pH of urine, the glucose, mainly the urinalysis is mainly done. Determine the pregnancy status if applicable. Then the hepatic systems. In hepatic systems, the review of past history of any type of substance abuse. The patient is abuses any type of substance like alcohol, IV drug abuse, like this, or inspect signs of jaundice. How to inspect the, in our bulbar conjunctiva there is a yellowish discoloration which mainly present in the jaundice. Then the bilirubin or biliverdin level. This is the main symptoms of jaundice. Then the check liver function test like AST, ALT, bilirubin, biliverdin to detect any type of hepatic insufficiency is there or not. Then the integumentary system. In the integumentary system, identify the any current or previous skin disorder, determine the skin status, any type of drying, bruising, rashes, or the eczema is present or not, assess the temperature, skin moistures, skin turgors. This is mainly checked. Then the musculoskeletal systems. In the musculoskeletal system, the main thing is the range of motion activities. The patient can perform range of motion activities or not. Assess the joint and muscles pain, and assess the mobility, gait, balance. How the patient gait or postures like this. Then the gastrointestinal system, we should check the fluid and food intake before any type of surgery, determine the bowel movement and bowel elimination pattern and number of bowel elimination pattern in a day, and the presence of any dentures or bridges, auscultate abdomen for presence of bowel sounds. Then the immune systems. In the immune systems, identify any immunity deficiency disorder like rheumatic heart disease or rheumatic fever like this, or assess the use of any corticosteroid like betamethasone or the hydrocortisone the patient uses or not. Then the psychosocial assessment. Why we assess the psychosocial assessment of a patient? Because before any type of surgery, the patient is undergo the surgery. The patient who is undergo the surgery may be face the fear, anxiety, irritation. So to relieve from this type of grievance or this type of anxiety, we should give a proper psychological assessment and give a proper counseling to recovery from this grievance. Like situational changes, identify the support system including family, other caregiver and group to provide proper explanation regarding the total hospitalization, surgery, total prognosis like this, and determine the presence of hope, anticipation of the positivity, give the positivity of the patient so that he can recover properly. Then the concern with body image. Any type of surgery which lead a deviation of the body image from a normal shape, like the scar marks or any type of harm or any type of opening or any type of cut injury like this. So mainly the patient should inform about the upcoming body image after the surgery. So identify the current role and relationship and give a positive support, give psychological supports and determine perceived and potential changes in role and relationships, identify level of anxiety and fear. Then the past experience, review the previous surgical experience, hospitalization and treatments, mainly determine the response of this experience. If any type of experience have this patient, then he should give a proper care to about this. Then the knowledge deficit. Identify amount of pre-operative information the patient want, like the preparations, care, intervention, pre-operative activities, the prognosis, restriction, expected outcome, nutrition, everything's explanation should be given to a patient so he or she can recover herself or himself properly. Identify accuracy of information the patient receives from the healthcare team. Then the common preoperative laboratory and diagnostics test. It is on ABG, like how when we check the ABG, the respiratory metabolic function and auto status, blood glucose can be done to detect the metabolic status and diabetic mellitus. Then the blood urea nitrogen and creatinine, it can be done to detect renal functions. Chest X-ray may be done to detect the pulmonary disorders. CBC means complete blood count. RBC, WBC, hemoglobin, ACT mainly done to detect the anemia, immune status, infections. The electrocardiogram mainly done to detect the cardiac disease. Electrolyte test mainly done to detect the renal functions, metabolic status. HCG mainly done to detect the pregnancy status. Liver functions test mainly done to check the liver status. PT, PTT, INR platelet count to detect the coagulation status. Serum albumin mainly done to check the nutritional status. Pulmonary function studies to check the pulmonary status. Urinalysis mainly done if there is any UTI or hydration or renal studies done or not. Or type cross matching and serology test is mainly mandatory for each patient, which may be done to detect the blood group, detection of HIV and HBV. Then a sample of preoperative checklist. Here is a sample which can be varies by the hospital protocols. Here I give a sample, like you can see here, removal completely paired or not, all jewelry remove, circle patient respond yes or no, you can give a tick mark. Oral preparations consumed color of last stool, clear or yellow. Shower after the clear bowel movement like this night prior to surgery, or any type of medication which is taken by the patient should be done a documentation, should keep a documentation. And then the cardiac, systolic BP, pulse rate, hemoglobin, urea, operation types, malignancy status, any type of malignancy patients or not. Then the patient sticker, here the patient's ID may be done. Then I come to the drug therapy. What should be the drug given to a patient before a surgery? This is a mandatory drug. Mainly the mandatory drug is the antibiotics, anti-emetics, histamines, or the benzodiazepine, and the rest of the drug mainly given as the patient needed. Then the antibiotic. Antibiotic mainly given to prevent the post-operative infections. Anticholinergic, mainly the atropine is given, reduce the oral and respiratory secretions. Anti-diabetic, which is given to stabilize the blood glucose levels. And antiemetic is mainly given to increase the gastric emptying. And the benzodiazepine is given to reduce the anxiety and induce sedations. Beta blocker mainly given to manage the hypertensions. Histamine mainly given to reduce the ACL secretions, and opioid mainly given to relieve the pain. Then the post-operative fasting recommendations. The pre-operative fasting recommendation. Pre-operative means when a patient undergo the surgery to promote the gastric emptying, the fasting is required. A minimum fasting time is required. If a person is dependent on the clear liquid, means the soup or water, then the minimum fasting period is 2 hours. If the patient is dependent on breast milk, then the minimum fasting period is 4 hours. The non-human milk like infant formula milk, the fasting period is 6 hours. The light meal like toast, clear soup, the minimum fasting period is 6 hours. And the regular meal, if a patient consume a regular meal like rice or bread or fatty meat, then the minimum fasting period is 8 hours or more. Then the informed consent, which is most important, is the informed consent. Informed consent means you inform a patient totally about the procedure, about the prognosis, about the rules, regulations, about the any type of hospital protocols or surgery or risk regarding the surgery. So you inform, you healthcare provider inform a patient, doctor and nurse should inform the patient, and the patient give the consent that yes, doctor and nurse give me the proper details and I understand this topic properly and I understand my surgery properly. So this is the informed consent. It is mainly a legal procedure. Informed consent is an active shared decision making process between a healthcare provider and the recipient of care, like the family member or the patient. There must be adequate disclosure of diagnosis, the nature, purpose of surgery, the probability of successful outcome, and the prognosis and the also risk. So this is all my topic. If you any type of doubt, then let me know regarding this topic and leave a comment. If you like the video, please like, subscribe and share too. So thank you.